Welcome back to another video where today I'm going to work out what is the best crocodile in the event you just have enough karma points to be one, if that theory turns out to be true. These creatures have emerged in the Triassic period and survived the KT balance that killed their possible close relatives, the dinosaurs. However, in recent studies, dinosaurs may be related to birds and not reptiles. Many crocodiles are endangered, however some of them are not, and today we're going to rank them from worst to best, and I'll recommend which one you should choose in the event you have to play as one. In 7th tier, there's a lot in here, except for there aren't any because most of the endangered species will die out due to habitat loss or just there are better predators. However, I think all the crocodiles have at least one reason to keep them out of 7th tier. However, we'll now move into 6th tier and we start with the New Guinea crocodile. For being small and can even be preyed on by bigger crocodiles, they have to try to avoid. So overall, they're in 6th tier. Also in 6th tier is the dwarf crocodile, aka the smallest croc. Like the New Guinea crocodile, they suffer against competition, but dwarf crocodiles have a little strength, and that is they have tougher armour for a croc their size. The final edition of the 6th tier is the Siamese crocodile. This crocodile is very small and possibly extinct in the wild, but isn't in 7th tier due to it having a nice variety of food, therefore keeping it alive. The main reason it is near extinction is habitat loss and better competition. Now we are in 5th tier, and the first edition here are the West and Central African slender-snouted crocodiles. These crocodiles are so similar, but due to being on the small side and stuck in the second hardest croc region to survive, they are stuck in 5th tier. Next, we have to move on to one of the more known crocodiles, the saltwater crocodile. Of course, I'm kidding. I meant to say the freshwater crocodile. You can see how I made the mistake, hopefully. The freshwater crocodile is a smaller croc that doesn't have many predators except for saltwaters who move into freshwater. Freshwater crocodiles, made a mistake again accidentally this time, also have predators such as large snakes as well as their saltwater big brothers. We also have the Philippine crocodile, a small crocodile that is relatively small but heavily armoured, even more heavily armoured than the dwarf crocodile. However, this crocodile is extremely endangered and therefore cannot climb any higher. Another creature in 5th tier, held back by being critically endangered, is the Cuban crocodile. The reason why I never recommend being a critically endangered is there is a chance you're going to become extinct, and if they're critically endangered, it means lots of them are dying. The Cuban crocodile is actually quite an aggressive species, which may be a cause to this though, and they might be pack hunters giving you a better chance of survival, but by being one of the most critically endangered animals on the planet, it's a very hard build to recommend playing as. Finally, the last croc in 5th tier is the West African crocodile, which is probably the strongest croc in 5th tier and could make it to 4th tier. However, they are descendants from the Nile croc, which is near the top of this chart. However, Nile crocs are very big and very strong, and these West African crocodiles are not. They have got weaker and they are smaller, which in my opinion is just a de-evolution, seeing that Nile crocs are still going really strong in today's life. Now we are in 4th tier, and all these crocodiles are large and have less extinction chances. The first crocodile is the Moralettes crocodile. The Moralettes crocodile just qualifies for 4th tier, but being on the large size and has good strength. Another great reason to pick this crocodile is it's on least concern, meaning it is likely not to die by humans or habitat loss, or maybe a bigger predator as well. The Orinoco is a large crocodile and lacks enemies, except the jaguar. However, it is critically endangered, stopping them from going any higher, and I would not recommend this build, despite being in a place with less enemies. The 4th tier croc I would recommend picking is the Mugger crocodile, which easily earns its place here. The Mugger crocodile is a medium-sized croc and is relentless. It is like a tiger shark for the crocodile world. But one weakness of the Mugger crocodile is there are areas it tries to avoid due to a species I will be mentioning later. If that species wasn't around, it would easily hit 3rd tier, but it just has competition. We're in the 3rd tier with the more famous of the crocodiles. Now technically this isn't a crocodile, but I had to add it onto the list because many people mistake this for a crocodile, and it is the American alligator. The American alligator is a very aggressive and has no predators, but at the moment are getting smaller due to the Everglades having a pollution problem due to littering. They are also very large, but there are just larger crocodiles out there. And also, in a one-on-one fight, there are few competitions here that it could just not win. The other third tier is the American crocodile, which is also a larger sized crocodile that is one of the only crocs to travel in salt water, which allows it to be located among the Caribbean and Florida. They tend to avoid contact with American alligators, despite living in the same state. If you live in Florida, the way to tell an American alligator apart from an American crocodile is a crocodile will tend to have a more V-shaped snout, which American crocodiles do have, versus the American alligator's more U-shaped. Crocodiles also tend to be lighter in colour to the American alligator. Now we move to second tier, and this is where the true brute of all the crocodiles lies, and that is the Nile crocodile. The Nile croc is a very large croc that can exceed 5 meters and has no predators. However, there is one weakness that separates this croc from top tier with one more, and that is it needs to respect some of the animals, such as the hippo and elephant, which can restrict it from top tier because the guy in top tier only has to respect humans in order to stay there. And now let's move on to the top tier, and we have the saltwater crocodile. The saltwater crocodile is the largest, with a few hitting 6 meters. However, there have been some Nile crocs that have been proven to be larger than the base saltwater size. The ultimate reason the saltwater is the first tier and Nile crocs the second tier is the saltwater has no predators but humans themselves. Also, the following crocodiles live with saltwaters and fear them so much they will try to avoid them at all costs. These species are freshwater crocodiles, New Guinea crocodiles, mugger crocodiles, and there are a few more. However, they are not smart enough to avoid a saltwater. One other advantage is a Nile croc has a bite force of 5,000 pounds per square inch. The saltwater, however, only has a bite force of 3,700 pounds per square inch. However, apparently, some people believe a 6 meter saltwater would have a bite force of 7,700 pounds per square inch. No one has, however, been able to prove this because that would require someone to bring their 6 meter saltwater and bite at full force into the test machine, which is clearly very hard to prove. I am one of those people who believe a saltwater over 6 meters could potentially beat the 5,000 pound per square inch Nile croc. Overall, crocodiles have been around for 250 million years, with crocodilians first making a scene 95 million years ago with the Sarcosuchus, the greatest build crocodiles have ever had to offer, and I'm glad that one is gone. But crocodiles have not changed much in 95 million years, and have barely changed since their beginnings, meaning they are one of the best predators to look at when it comes to survival. However, I would personally look at a shark more because they've lasted a bit longer. But this is about the crocodiles, and they seem to be having less trouble than sharks at the moment. But thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.